The Combat and Strength show hits London's O2 Arena in July 2016. Joining me on the sports show today is Fighters Inc. CEO Joe Long. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks for having me.
You've been involved in this field for many, many years. I just want to go back to your personal life and karate, should we say.
Yep.
So you started at a very young age?
Yeah, I started very young. I first walked into a dojo when I was 7 years old, in Barking Dojo, which was run by an instructor called Tiki Donovan, who's very well known in the East London area as well as internationally. And that's where it all started, really.
And it's taken off since then. So you developed the passion since then, which is ignited and continued to burn.
Yeah, I mean, both myself and my business partner done karate from a young age.
Sure.
Paul Alderson. And we sort of grew up together doing karate. From our teens, we both started to compete internationally. I won national titles, British titles, and fought internationally. Paul went on to gain a world title as well.
Right.
And then when I hit sort of 22, I was fairly injured through doing martial arts from so young, and unfortunately I couldn't compete anymore. And our first event was in 1997, which we done a dinner show for karate called the 3-on-3 Karate Showcase, which was televised on Sky Sports.
Sure.
And it all started from there. So me and Paul done our first event there, and we've been together ever since, promoting various combat sports.
And it'll be 20 years next year.
20 years next year, yeah.
Time flies, huh?
20 years next year since our first event. So feeling like a bit of a dinosaur now.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Fast forward to 2016 from 1997.
Yeah.
You've got an amazing show coming up at the O2 Arena this July, which I mentioned in my introduction.
Sure.
Now we want to hear it from yourself. What is the Combat and Strength show about?
Well, the first show was in 1999 at the NEC, the Seni show. And it's basically an opportunity to bring the whole of the combat sports sector together. Since 1999, a lot of strength sports and fitness activity has gone on at the show. Hence why we changed the name to the Combat and Strength Show in 2014. And yeah, we're at the O2 for the whole weekend. We're taking over the whole of the O2, and we have many activities going on over that weekend.
I think, I'm amazed at some of the backing that you've received and the plaudits that you've received. I mean, just recently, my bad luck, I missed out, but Kimbo Slice, the great Kimbo Slice, as most of us would refer to him,
yeah,
he was in London to support the event.
Yeah, Bellator are doing their first London show on the evening, big arena show on the evening of Saturday, 16th of July. And Kimbo Slice will be fighting James Thompson, a rematch, and that'll be going live on Channel 5 also. So that's like the big arena show, which is like the cherry on the cake for the whole weekend, if you like. But during the Saturday daytime and the Sunday daytime, there's many events taking place across the weekend, including the Contender Cup, Miss Galaxy Universe, World's Strongest Man experience, the Bellator experience, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of events happening across the weekend.
So what I wanted to ask you about, what particularly interested me was the World's Strongest Man event, Joe.
Yeah.
What does that involve?
Well, there's various aspects to that event. It's been used as a qualifier for the World's Strongest Man. So Colin Bryce, who's very integral within World's Strongest Man, is putting on the event alongside us, and that will take place in Brooklyn Bowl on the Saturday and the Sunday. And they're focusing on various events which go on there, the deadlift and the log lift. So they're the two main events which they're focusing on. And also there's a live aspect where you'll be able to talk to and integrate with like big names from World's Strongest Man, including Eddie Hall, who's the world deadlift record holder. And I believe Eddie's trying to break the world record the week before, which I believe he'll do.
Sure.
And
then he'll be appearing at the show.
And then he'll be appearing at the show, so he'll be fresh off of a world record. Also, we have the Mountain from the Game of Thrones. He'll be there as well. and there'd be a live Q&A with both them guys on the Saturday evening.
Not a big fan myself, but I know quite a few who, having heard the reference to Games of Thrones now, will actually hopefully buy a few tickets themselves. Bring the boys over and join up.
I was talking about him earlier. Paul Alderson, who's my business partner, is a massive Game of Thrones fan, and when they said there's a possibility that we can bring the mountain along, he was like a kid in a candy shop.
He was actually, imagine,
like,
each to their own.
each to their own. But there's a lot of Game of Thrones fans out there for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Joe, just looking at the format, it's going to be a long and exciting weekend.
for sure.
And you touched on it a little bit earlier on in our interview today. So what is a typical day going to be like at the Combat and Strength Show? Because I think a lot of people, what they're thinking is, oh, it's just another fight show, having not witnessed it. So let's hear it.
Well, there's so many aspects to it. So the event, the weekend is very event driven. So you can go along there to, let's say you go along there to watch the Contender Cup, which is a Muay Thai amateur event, which is running all weekend. Various bouts happening over the weekend for juniors, adults, and seniors and veterans, happening all weekend. But as well as that, there's karate events, there's strongman events, there's fitness events. We've even got a battle of the barbers going on at the show. We have a group called Body to Bars who do all body strength training, and that they have a battle going on all weekend from various people in their gyms. It's very hard to put it all into one hit, but there's various content happening all weekend across the whole of the O2. So you could go along there and watch various events, as I say, from Muay Thai to karate to MMA to fitness to fitness sessions, and then also you can talk to various exhibitors. We have various exhibitors there which are selling goods.
Okay.
Or speak to a governing body, or speak to a nutritional company about diets and protein and supplements, etc., etc. So there's exhibitors and there's content, and there's the whole of the industry there as well. So a lot of people go there to engage with each other. People from different gyms, people from different backgrounds, meeting and talking about whatever they're doing. You could go there to watch a karate. You could go there to watch your kid or grandchild do karate, but then you end up getting into Tai Chi, or you end up getting into body weight training. It's one of them shows where there's so much on display and so much to take in.
And I think I would take it seriously, considering that you've been doing this game, or you've been playing this game since 1997. I don't think there's many, people do a lot of events, but very rarely have I seen, and I do go to a lot of events myself personally, so I'm not just speaking out of turn here as well. But very rarely do you get occasions and events where you've got so much under one roof. So if you want to network, you can go and network there.
Correct.
If you just want to go and chill out and watch, if you want to go and enjoy a fight with someone, there's something there for everybody. Am I right in saying that?
There's something there for everybody, and it's very much a family orientated show, because there's young people competing, and with that comes the family, like the family aspect, to the show. A lot of people think, it's martial arts or it's the combat show, and they automatically get a picture in their head of thugs or fighters
cracking a piece of wood over someone's head.
That's not it. It's martial arts. Martial arts is disciplined and very family orientated.
Will you be having your ever popular film festival shows taking place?
We will do. We're working with a young lady called Sue Cole, who's very well known within the martial arts industry, and Sue is currently putting together all the content for the film festival. I know we're looking to get some classics in there as well this year, and they'll all be taking place in the cinema within the O2. I believe in the next couple of weeks we'll be going live with the actual schedule of films which will be showing on one of the screens. Also, we have the Bruce Lee content. We've got an event called the Bruce Lee Years, which is taking place in the Water Margin, which is the Chinese restaurant in the O2. and there'd be various talks, displays, Q&As going on all weekend surrounding Bruce Lee. And I think the guys are lining up some Skype interviews, back to America and back to China also over the weekend. So, yeah, the film festival and the Bruce Lee years kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And there'll be a crossover with some of the content there also.
You and Paul have been in the game for almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
Just looking back, or looking forward, I should say, how important is it for the industry to have expos like you've been arranging?
Well, it's changed. It's changed, MDAD.
Okay.
As far as when the first Cine hit in 1999, the internet wasn't as big. So a lot of stuff was mail order. But now with the increase of internet and internet shops, we've gone like a full circle.
Yes.
Really. But it is important to, as far as people coming together, people talking, and people moving forward as an industry. When we started it, there wasn't an expo for our industry. There is, and we've been lucky enough to be the #1 show for our industry. For the past however many years, and I, Paul, many people in the industry think it's important that then people come together, talk, and move forward.
So am I right in saying that amongst the big names who are attending the show during the weekend, you've got someone like 3 times world Muay Thai champion Kieran Keddo, who'll be there with his with fighters from his gym as well?
Yeah, I mean, Kieran's just one example of many athletes from the UK who will be there in various capacities. Kieran will be there organising the Contender Cup. He'll be there as a coach with a fighter who's competing in Bellator. And also he's got fighters competing on Ronin, which is the Sunday night show in Indigo, which is a stand-up show, K1 type Muay Thai stand-up show, which is taking place at Indigo on the Sunday evening. So he'll be there in many capacities. We also have international stars coming to the show.
Okay.
So we're very excited. We have the Bellator experience happening, which is going to be happening in the upstairs bars of the All Bar 1. The Bellator experience, Bellator are going to be bringing over Hoist Gracie, Fedor, and Tito Ortiz to meet and greet with the fans. So you can buy a Bellator experience ticket, which gets you access into the arena show, into the combat and strength show, and also exclusive one-to-one sessions with
so
Fedor.
all in one.
Yeah, with Fedor, Hoist, and Tito.
I think the viewers will be very pleased to hear that, because what you do get sometimes at a show is that sometimes organisers are accused of being a bit naughty. You pay for a day ticket and then you've got to pay a little bit extra for a one-to-one.
Yeah.
And I've seen, because I go to a lot of expos, I can see a few people a bit disgruntled over that, saying, well, we weren't aware of this. So that's really good to hear as well.
Yeah, I mean, with that, it's an all-encompassing ticket, which gets you into everything.
I for sure have many viewers. We've got quite a big viewership on the sports show, and not everybody is a sports fan. A lot of the times friends and family watch it. So people sitting on the fence, Joe, you need to convince them now that this is something, as we just said before, it's not picking up a piece of brick and smashing it over somebody's head. Why should they come? Or why should they come with their family and friends and enjoy this wonderful experience?
I think because there's so much content there. There's so much content there. You're going to be dragged in different directions. I mean, we have the whole of the O2. So when you go in the O2, we all know it's a big place. You've got so many directions you can go into and so much content you can see. And then really it's your choice from what you see, what you like, what direction you want to go in,
Combat and strength.
It's a melting pot.
It is a melting pot.
Yeah.
Combat and strength this year, what's the difference between hosting it at the O2 as opposed to the David Beckham Academy?
It's going to have a different feel from it. I think it's going to have more of a festival feel this year.
Okay.
With it being inside the O2 and using the various areas of the O2. Before the David Beckham Academy, we was at the Excel, and before then we was obviously at the NEC. But I think this year's gonna be a big one.
A big one. And then going on, moving forward, do you have any future events planned?
This year we do. After the Senny show, we're working on an England v Holland stand-up show, which will take place in London probably the end of November, beginning of December. And then we're focusing on a fairly big announcement next year, which I can't sort of give too much away on, but
Sure.
but we're already planning for next year.
Brilliant.
And a big announcement which will be around our sort of 20-year anniversary. And we're also currently working on a documentary which is talking about the 20 years of Fighters Inc. with various individuals and you know, just sort of documenting our history, what we've done over the last 20 years.
And lastly, where can people purchase tickets for Combat and Strength?
The best place to go is combatandstrength.com. You've got various ticketing options on there for all the events. That'd be your best place to go. Obviously, you can go to the O2 website, and AXS are our main ticketing agency.
And there you have it. I'm seriously excited about July. Ramadan will be over, so we can go there and eat and drink as much as we want as well. But just talking to Joe, I'm really excited about what's happening. You know, the O2 will be taken over for 3 days, and there will be fight fans and personalities and media personalities and average Joe blogs like myself and other people will be turning up there for 3 days of what promises to be a mega experience. If you would like to purchase tickets, please visit www.combatandstrength.com. Thanks for watching The Sports Show.